Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my Week 6 preview of CFL action. My apologies for how late it is. I've been really busy with my university starting up. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this first game, Hamilton versus Toronto. All right, so this will be an interesting one with Hamilton getting a decent win this past week over Toronto. Evans has looked quite good. Hamilton as a whole has looked much better since their break week, and I'm pretty sure I said this last in the last video on CFL action. But Hamilton really seems to be really in sync a lot more than they were coming up to this break week. They were really just kind of seemed disorganized. They couldn't figure it out with Mazzoli. They put in Evans, and they've been having some good chemistry, and with Acklands and whatnot, they've been able to really create some solid drives out of that, and that's made all the difference there for this Hamilton team. Nick Arbuckle has looked good. However, he's had the advantage of some teams making him look a little bit better than he is. For example, their game against Winnipeg, obviously there they won, where they made Arbuckle look like a force to be reckoned with. Even though he's still a good QB, he's not all-star QB. But I think Hamilton will win this one again. However, I think, because the game's actually going on right now, I have no idea what the score is. I intentionally made sure it was that way so I can give you an honest review. I think Hamilton will win this game. However, I think it will be under a touchdown. I think it will be a really close game, and I think Toronto is definitely going to put up a good fight. So, yeah. Anyways, that'll bring us to our next game. That will be Winnipeg versus Saskatchewan in the Banjo Bowl. Alrighty, so the Banjo Bowl's here. We had Labor Day last week. What a game. And we're going to have another game just as exciting as that one this week. Holy crap, where do I even begin? Now, obviously, whenever you bring up a game about the Bombers, the first thing that comes to mind is that Blue Bomber defense. That absolute wall that teams have struggled to get through. With the exception of that one game against Toronto that we're just going to pretend didn't happen. But yeah, Winnipeg comes up with an unexpected win in Labor Day. And I say that as a Bomber fan, not because I don't think the Bombers weren't capable of winning. Obviously they were, as they did win. But if you look at the Labor Day record, it's not in the Bombers' favor. And especially in these past 15 years, the Bombers have not been known well for winning those games. So winning that game was really important. As I was concerned as a Bomber fan that we'd lose that game and then kind of have our backs up against the wall in this Banjo Bowl, and then it could really be a 50-50 crapshoot from there. But we got that solid win, and it really kind of brought out a little bit of the errors in the Saskatchewan roster. And not necessarily errors in the sense of they should trade, like, you know, they'll never win anything with this, but it did force their players to play under more pressure than they're used to, especially Cody Fajardo, who played all right, but he had 3 interceptions that game. And honestly, both QBs, both Caleros and Fajardo, definitely had a lot of pressure on them from these D-lines, which is why I think our O-line has got to be as solid as they can this game. The Bombers, if they really want to put an impact on Saskatchewan early, they need to do what they did last game and run that ball up the throat and really punch back this Saskatchewan defense. Because if the ball stays on the ground and it stays in the running game between these two, that's definitely in the Bombers' favor. Moore played well for Saskatchewan. However, Saskatchewan got no touchdowns last game. They're going to be coming in hungry for this one. So I am not going to put any prediction on this game as well. I think it's too close to call. Obviously, I would love to see my Bombers win, though. I'll be at the game tomorrow. Make sure you check out my game reaction. Not sure if it'll be delayed or not. I also have other stuff going on that night. So, on tomorrow night. So, I'll try to have that up as close as I can. But it could be delayed due to, just family things. Anyways, but that'll bring us to our next game. That'll be Calgary versus Edmonton. All right, it is the second matchup of the Battle of Alberta, and Bo Levi Mitchell is back. Now, the number one question is this a good thing? I honestly don't know, because Mayer has played solid, And Bo Levi Mitchell this season has struggled. If he can get in his mojo, if he can get this figured out, and he really gets in his rhythm, then this Calgary team could really storm back up the standings ahead of BC, ahead of Edmonton, and they could really make a mark. But I'm just not sure. You know, what Bo Levi Mitchell are we going to get? Are we going to get the one that's making almost more money than almost any other player in the CFL? Or are we going to get the one that rides the pine because his backup QB is outperforming him? So that's going to be a huge telling tale in this game. So I think this is just a prediction. I think what's going to happen is I think Calgary's going to obviously start him, as they said they would. And they're going to play good for the first quarter. I think second or third quarter he falls apart and they put Mayer in, and I think at that point they are in a hole that they can't really dig themselves out of, and I think Edmonton will win this game over Calgary. And yeah, so that will bring us into our last game, Ottawa versus BC. All right, the battle of, well, sometimes the worst teams in their conference. BC, I think, has been a little bit better in Edmonton this year, so far at least. But Ottawa has definitely not been better in anyone in their conference. They are definitely dead last of right now in the Eastern Conference, and Ottawa's just not strong. I don't see Ottawa doing much of anything. Nichols has done okay. But he's been manufacturing shit, but it's not really his fault. He's given shit tools to work with. So, BC has had a good offense. Ottawa hasn't had a good offense or defense. Not really, at least. BC's had some really great returns. They still got to figure out that kicking situation, as it's a bit inconsistent. I think the same way as the Bombers. However, there's rumors of Medlock possibly signing back. He is definitely older. However, he's a free agent right now. And I have no doubt in my mind the Bombers wouldn't want him back, at least for a run, just because of how consistently good Medlock is as that kicker. Anyways, but back to the Ottawa versus BC game. BC has a good throwing game. They've been running that all season. It's worked. All things considered, it hasn't been bad. And I guess a team like Ottawa, I have no doubt that they'll be able to really be able to pull off a good victory over them. And Ottawa's got to figure out that O-line. That O-line's not good. They have not been able to give Nichols anything. They haven't, everything they try. That's one thing about this Ottawa offense is I've seen them shuffle around trying so many different types of plays, whether it's screen passes or pulling a guard or even pulling a center once. But they just haven't been able to do anything. I really think that they need to try to draft someone to get on that line that can really be a leader for the other ones there. But I think BC will win that game, obviously. And I think that'll be it for this video. That is my Week 6 preview. Stay tuned for my Week 6 review, as well as my game reaction to the Banjo Bowl coming tomorrow. Video hopefully coming tomorrow, possibly closer to midnight. No idea when that's going to be out. Just make sure you stay tuned for that. And without further ado, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.